Okay, ma? Our next chapter discussion, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. It has 8 marks weightage in PU board. In PU board annual examination, it has 8 marks weightage. In this chapter, first of all, we will discuss about structure of a flower. See, flowers are the organs of sexual reproduction, as they produce gametes by meiosis divisions. How meiosis divisions takes place in plants, already we discussed that. So the plant body is diploid parental body. When reached to maturity in the diploid parental body, haploid gametes are formed by meiosis divisions. Okay, generally sexual reproduction occurs by the fusion of gametes. Gametes means what? Nuclei. By the fusion of nuclei rather than fusion of other cells. And so the nuclei is termed as gametes. The nuclei is termed as gametes. Okay, that's all. See here, first of all, here we will see structure of flowers. Structure of flower. See, the flowers are modified shoot. This is what first year we discussed. Shoot apex. It is modified. Modified means it grows and gives rise to flowers. So that the flower is modified shoot. Flower is modified shoot. It has condensed internode. It has condensed internode. See, like this way, condensed internode. This is condensed internode. It has a condensed internode. Like this way. All the floral parts are arranged in whorl. Whorls are circle. All the floral parts, all the flower parts are arranged in circles or whorls on condensed internode. Here see, like this way. Okay, so on this, it is condensed internode. On the condensed internode, all the floral parts are arranged in circles. Though the color, size, shape is different in flowering plants, the basic pattern remains same in all the species of angiosperms. Generally, the flower color is different, size is different, shape is different, smell is different, different smells they emit. But the basic pattern, the basic arrangement of all the angiosperms are same. That is corolla, calyx, corolla, stamens, androecium and gynoecium. The basic parts remains same in all the flowering plants. Okay, so this is the structure of a flower. Next, parts of a flower. Parts of a flower. A typical flower has 4 whorls. Four whorls arranged on receptacle. This is called receptacle. Receptacle is also called thalamus. The 4 parts are 4 whorls. A typical flower has 4 parts which are arranged sequentially on the receptacle. It is also called thalamus. Okay, that's all. Next here, pedicel. See, pedicel, it is a stalk of a flower. Pedicel, it is a stalk of a flower. Pedicel, it is a stalk of a flower. It may be short or long or absent. In some flowering plants, it may be short. It may be long. It may be absent. That's why it is called, if it is absent, pedicellate flowers. If it is present, pedicel flowers. Okay, that is called pedicel. Thalamus. Next part is thalamus. So upper, it is a swollen part of the pedicel, or upper swollen part of the pedicel. To the pedicel upper side, upper swollen part of the pedicel is called thalamus. Thalamus. Upper swollen upper swollen part of the pedicel is called thalamus. On the thalamus, four parts are arranged. Four parts are arranged. Four parts are arranged sequentially. Those four parts clearly now I will show on the thalamus. Those four parts I will show here. See here, thalamus. On the thalamus, four floral leaves are arranged. Those are, first one is calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium. See here, the first one is calyx. It is the outermost part of the flower. It may green in color. It may green in color and tube-like structure, which protects all the internal parts of the flower. That is, I will show here. Come here. This is called calyx. First one, calyx. Calyx. Okay, calyx. Next one here. This is corolla. Second one is corolla. So the calyx is outermost part of the flower. It may green in color, tube-like structure, which protects all the internal parts of the flower. Next one is what? Corolla. This is what? Corolla. It is the second whorl of the flower. Corolla is also called petals. Petals. Calyx is also called sepals. It is called petals. It is called petals. So generally, it may varies from one flower to another flower. The size, shape, color varies from one flower to another flower. It emits sweet fragrance. It emits sweet fragrance, to which pollinating agents, that may be birds, insects, are attracted. Okay, that is called petals. Next, androecium. Androecium. It is the male reproductive part of the flower. So this androecium consists of stamen. Androecium consists of stamen. So this stamen has two parts. Two parts. See here. See, this is stamen. The stamen has two parts. One is anther, another one is filament. Okay, so the stamen is modified leaf or microsporophyll. microsporophyll. It contains two parts. So the bilobed structure is called anther. And a long slender means thin tube-like structure is called filament. So the filament supplies water, minerals, nutrients to the anther. This is called androecium. So the collection of androecium is called stamen. The stamen has two parts, anther and filaments. Next, last and final one is gynoecium. The gynoecium, see, this is the part. It is the female reproductive part of the flower. Okay, so it has two parts. So gynoecium is also called carpel or pistil. Carpel. Gynoecium is also called carpel. Carpel. Carpel or pistil. Carpel or pistil. So the pistil or carpel has three parts. Those three parts are called style, stigma, and ovary. See here. This is stigma. Stigma. It is style. It is ovary. Okay. Carpel or pistil consists of three parts: style, stigma, and ovary. So from upside we will come stigma. So stigma receives pollen grains and helps to germinate the pollen grains. That part is called stigma. From the stigma, there is a long tube-like structure called style, which is connected to the stigma and the ovary. So last and final, ovary. It is a spherical shaped structure located above the thalamus. It contains one or more ovules. Future fate of ovules is called seeds. Okay, this is the structure of flower. This is the structure of flower. So these are all the parts we have to study thoroughly, even in second PUC also. Okay, that's all. Events. See here, pre-fertilization structures. In the flower, pre-fertilization structures are stamen, microsporangium, and pollen grains. From the male flowering plant, from the male reproductive part of a flower, the pre-fertilization structures are stamen. First of all, let us see stamen. It is the male reproductive part of a flower. It has two parts, anther and filament. See here, I will show that part. This is called stamen. It is a male reproductive part of the flower. It has two parts. One is anther, another one is filament. First of all, let us see anther. Anther is the bilobed structure. Bilobed structure. See, this is bilobed structure. Anther. Anther is bilobed structure. Each lobe has two sacs. 1, 2. Each lobe has two sacs. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so these two sacs, each lobe has two sacs. These sacs are called microsporangium. These are also called pollen sacs. Okay, so these, the total is anther, bilobed anther. In this bilobed anther, each lobe has two sacs. It is one lobe, two lobes. Each lobe again has two sacs. Those 1, 2. These two sacs are called microsporangium or pollen sacs. So microsporangium. So microsporangium develops number of spores. Those spores are called microsporangium or pollen sacs. Develops number of spores. Those spores are called microspores. Those microspores are also called pollen grains. Pollen grains. So these pollen grains, when reach to the stigma, there they will be germinated. During pollination, pollen grains are landed on the stigma, where pollen grains are germinated and gives rise to pollen tube. This pollen tube carries two male gametes. Hence, pollen grains are said to be male gametophyte. Pollen grains are said to be male gametophytes. Okay, that is anther. Anther. Next, a long, slender, thin tube-like structure is called filament, which is attached to the anther. So at the tip of the filament attached to the anther, at the base of the filament, it is attached to the ovary, attached to the thalamus, not a flower. It is attached to the thalamus. From the thalamus, it supplies water, minerals, nutrients, etc. to the anther. Anther contains microsporangium. In the microsporangium, number of spores are formed. Those spores are called microspores, also called pollen grains. So the study of pollen grains is called palynology. The study of pollen grains called palynology. It is important definition for 1 mark objective discussion, etc. Next topic. Stamens show wide range of variations in their arrangement and attachment. On the basis of arrangement, attachment, and length of the stamens, so the stamens are several types. So first of all, let us see cohesion of stamens. Stamens shows wide range of variations in their arrangement and attachment. Depends upon the arrangement and attachment, stamens are various types. In those, first one is cohesion of stamens. It refers to the attachment of stamens with each other. It refers to the attachment of stamens with each other. So it is also called union of stamens with each other. So based upon the union of stamens with each other, stamens are several types. Monoadelphous stamens. Diadelphous stamens. Polyadelphous stamens. Syngenesious stamens. These are all objective bits. Even in practicals also, you have to study. Okay, so that here only we have to discuss. First PUC I already said. Okay, monoadelphous, the word itself saying the significance. Monoadelphous. So filaments of all the stamens are attached together into a single bundle or tube. The anthers are free. See, the filaments of all the stamens. This is a filament. Filaments of all the stamens are attached together into a single bundle or a tube. And anthers are free. Anthers are free. This is called monoadelphous. All the anthers are free. Example, Cinnarose, Hibiscus rosea sinensis. Diadelphous. Filaments of all the stamens are attached together and forms two bundles. Filaments, filament 1, 2. Filaments of stamens are attached together and forms two bundles. Here, anthers are free. Anthers are free. This is called diadelphous. Two bundles, 1, 2 bundles. This is called diadelphous. Example, pea plant, Pisum sativum. In pea plant, this kind of arrangement we can be seen. Okay, that's all. Polyadelphous. So filaments of stamens are attached together and forms one or more bundles. But the anthers are free. One or more bundles means what? 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why it is called polyadelphous. It is seen in lemon, citrus fruit, lemon. Syngenesious. In this one, anthers. In this one, anthers are attached together. These anthers are attached, but filaments are free. This is called syngenesious. Example, sunflower. Okay, that's all. So these are all based upon the union of stamens with each other. Okay, based on the relative length of the stamen. Based on the length of the stamen, stamens are two types. Those are didynamous and tetradynamous. Didynamous stamens tetradynamous stamens. Didynamous stamens and tetradynamous stamens. Didynamous stamens. Didynamous stamens. See, it is the condition where two stamens are longer. Two stamens are longer. Two stamens are shorter. It is the condition where out of 4 stamens, 2 filaments are longer, 2 filaments are shorter. That is called didynamous condition. This is commonly seen in tulsi. Ocimum sanctum. Scientific name of tulsi is Ocimum sanctum. Next, tetradynamous. It is the condition where out of 6 stamens, 4 stamens are longer and 2 are shorter. This is called tetradynamous condition. It is commonly seen in mustard plant. Mustard plant, this condition we will see. This is called relative lengths of the stamen. Stamens are two types: didynamous stamens, tetradynamous stamens. In this one, see, the stamens are attached to the petals. The stamens are attached to the petals. See, the stamens are attached to the petals. That is called addition of the stamen. Addition of the stamens. So based on the attachment of stamen to the petals, the stamens are two types. Epipetalous and gynandrous. Epipetalous and gynandrous. First of all, let us have a look on epipetalous. In this one, the stamens are attached to the petals. The stamen, that means what? Filaments are attached to the petals, but anther remains free. Anther free. That is called epipetalous. See here. Like this way. In this one, this is stamen. So this filament is attached to the petals. This is petal. So this part is attached to the petals, but this part is free. That is called epipetalous stamens. It is commonly seen in sunflower plant, Helianthus annuus, sunflower plant. In this one, epipetalous we can be seen. Gynandrous. In this one, the stamens are attached to the carpels. Okay, this is the condition is this. So for this also, this diagram only I will modify. See. In this one, the stamens attached to the carpels. This is the stamen attached to the carpels or pistils. Hence it is called gynandrous. Gynandrous. Gynand, nothing but gynoecium. Okay, stamens, gynandrous. Androus means androecium. Androecium means what? Stamen. The stamens are attached to the carpels. The stamens are attached to the carpels. Therefore, it is called gynandrous. Gynandrous condition commonly seen in sun hemp plant, Calotropis gentian. Calotropis gentian. It is a fodder for cattle. It is a fodder for cattle. Okay, so these are all pre-fertilization structures and events. Next, structure of anther, microsporangium, microsporogenesis, and pollen grains. If we will discuss those pre-fertilization structures and events, topic gets finished. With tomorrow class, that is, I will finish. Today's session is finished.